One moment. You are not a harvester. We have had the occasional problem with them stealing from limb clinics. They will do anything to obtain augmentation, even strip them from a living person. Be careful.
Returning to tonight's thesis. For days, reports of temporary malfunctions and electrostatic disturbances. Down the road. Elizabeth Duclair, spokeswoman for the WHO.
你也感觉到了吗？哎，这感觉算是个小毛病，可是他们怎么花了那么长的时间才找出这个毛病呢？联合国的规定看起来是越来越完善了，至少嘛，公司会被监管，而且呢，对自己的行为要有负责。
Hey, I know you. You're the one Bell Tower is looking for. I seen your picture.
You got the wrong guy.
What's it worth to you for me to think so? Be a simple thing for me to yell out. Maybe a few credits to keep my mouth shut, huh?
How about I find some other way to keep it shut? Permanently.
That won't be necessary. I see now that you're much taller than the man they're looking for.
I thought you might see things that way. Now move it.
Okay, leave me alone. I won't say a word to Bell Tower. I never saw you. Please, I didn't mean anything. I just wanted to make a few easy credits.
Back away, sir. This is none of your business. Come out!
Mr. Jensen, Hugh Darrow here. Please forgive this intrusion, but David assured me of your cooperation and discretion. I find myself in need of some assistance.
I'm listening.
A contact of mine, Meng Yao, is in Hengsha, waiting to fill you in. I'll upload her coordinates now.
不是啦，这样他们会免费给我安装新装备。
Mr.
You see what I got? Bye-bye. I see you soon.
Let's hope he's as good as they say. Mr. Jensen, right? Thank you for your time. I am Meng Yao, an associate of Mr. Darrow's. I'm in charge of one of his divisions here in Hengsha. You come highly recommended.
Really?
Your boss described you as a most precious asset. Apparently, you are very efficient and always get the job done. We could definitely use a man like you for this operation.
Let's hope his confidence is well placed then.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Mr. Darrow doesn't trust just anyone. We need you to help us stop a group of terrorists who are threatening the Panchaea project. It is not an easy task. Are you sure you are up to it?
Okay, I'll help out.
Excellent. Here's the situation. It has come to our attention that these terrorists possess highly classified proprietary information about Panchaea. We've been able to convince them to sell it to one of our agents, a man named Lo Fei. The meeting is supposed to take place near the Alice Garden pods in the Daigong district.
And you want me to crash this meeting?
Actually, there will not be a meeting. We are sending you alone to ensure Mr. Fei's safety. The terrorists will not be expecting that and will have the information with them on a data chip. You have to neutralize all of the sellers and retrieve the chip so you can bring it to me.
I don't get it. If Fei set up the meeting, why risk sending me in his stead? Why doesn't he or even some of your other agents drop in on the sellers and take the chip?
Because Mr. Darrow wants an absolute guarantee that there will be no casualties. We will not play by their rules. We want them arrested and questioned, then properly prosecuted and sentenced. This will require stealth and efficiency. That's why a man with your particular skills will be indispensable.
Anything else I need to know?
The sellers are expecting Mr. Fei and Mr. Fei alone. If they spot you, they will shoot on sight. Need I point out this might make your job a lot harder?
Story of my life.
everything you want, right here. I will be right here. Best in town. Come back anytime.
You're in the wrong part of town, Lao Lad. Go back.
So I imagine person last night.
This is bell tower business. Back off.
This is not the place for you. Get out, Lao Wei.
Learn to shoot!
Over here!
They send you?
If you're talking about your former buddies at Bell Tower, the answer is no.
Wait a minute. You're Jensen, right? I heard that some of my former buddies have been looking for you.
Yeah, it seems no matter how many of their friends I send back in body bags, they just don't get the message.
For the sin of their mouths, the words of their lips, let them be trapped in their pride.
You've dropped the Merc gig to become a man of the cloth?
Hardly. I just have an interest in theology. And I love quoting the book. Everything in it is so evocative. Now, tell me, are you here to stop me?
Not exactly. I'm here on behalf of someone who wants you to understand reason.
Let me guess. Dr. Wing, right? He's a good man. And I know he's only trying to do what he thinks is right. But he doesn't quite grasp the whole picture here.
Then why don't you enlighten me? Start by explaining why you went rogue.
When an average man decides he no longer shares his employer's views and opts to leave, we say he's handing in his resignation. When men like us do the same, it's called going rogue. You can't quit a job like ours, Jensen. You know that.
Yeah, okay, I can relate. But you still haven't answered my question. And what do you mean when you say you no longer share your employer's view?
Back in the US, when I first got into the Army, I did it because I wanted to serve my country. I believed in its values. I believed in its government. Back then, I believed that by serving my government, I was serving the people it was supposed to protect.
Nice sentiment. But you don't work for the US anymore, you work for Bell Tower.
Times change, Jensen. You know the story. Capitalism's final encroachment on one of the most lucrative industries in the history of mankind. War got privatized. The US military offloaded its special operations to PMCs like Blue Water Global and Bell Tower. I believed that as long as they were working for the government, they were serving the same cause. So when they offered me the chance to work on major operations at twice the pay grade, I made my jump.
Why don't we just skip to when things went sour?
Bell Tower outfitted us with top-notch augmentations. The kind of stuff civilians never hear about. Gave us a massive edge over the enemy. Later, Seeing as my unit was one of the most successful ones, they selected us for a special program. Top secret, experimental tech. Told us we would get to work on critical black ops for the US government. But there was a price to pay.
Go on.
We had to be implanted with a neural hub that manipulates memory centers in the brain, basically controlling what you can and cannot remember.
And you agreed to this?
Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. The augmentation was supposed to keep us safe, make sure we'd never remember details if we fell behind enemy lines. That was the main function. The second one, the one they didn't tell us about, was to lower our inhibitions, make us more receptive to orders we'd likely disobey. Bell Tower turned us into the perfect mercs.
If you were so perfect, and the hub made you so perfect, how did it fail? How come they didn't outfit the whole agency?
I told you the tech was experimental. After a couple of ops, I started experiencing memory shifts, remembering bits and fragments of past operations. Slowly, I realized some of these operations couldn't logically have been orchestrated by the government. I was asked to do highly questionable things, even by professional standards.
Aren't we all?
Not like this, Jensen. Our services have been sold to corrupt officials in the American and Chinese governments. A combination of lies and use of the neural aug made sure we complied. We were working for a shadow government. Individuals corrupted by a quest for personal power.
So how'd you get out of it?
I confronted the project director. He quoted Apocalypse Now. You have to have men who are moral, and at the same time who are able to utilize their primordial instincts to kill without feeling. I forced him to disconnect the hub, for me and my squad mates here. And then I killed him. I went through his files and contacts. I know who these corrupt men are now. They've turned us into killing machines, and now they'll get to experience their experiment firsthand.
Dr. Wing said our situations would resonate. I don't think he realized it might go both ways. Some men deserve the justice we bring on them. Do what you have to do, Zelazny. I won't get in your way.
I appreciate that, Jensen. I didn't want you to die for a cause that isn't yours. These men I killed, and these men I'm going to kill. They have names, families, they're people. Their deaths shouldn't be erased from my memory by some electronic software. They should haunt me, taunt me, until I finally meet our Lord and pay for my sins. But the men behind this, they deserve to die. And I think there's poetry in the fact that they engineered their own demise. Hey, Jensen. Zelazny here.
Zelazny? How'd you get this frequency?
You're no stranger to top-secret augmentations, Jensen. You figure it out. In the meantime, just want to let you know I've contacted some of my old pals at Bell Tower. Got them to reassign a couple of local patrols. You should have a few less problems to deal with for a while.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
That is far enough. Get back.
have the faulty chips replaced.
让我们进
哎，什么？
So? You have found Zelazny? I cannot stress enough the importance of this task, Mr. Jensen.
I found him.
Really, Mr. Jensen? You have been able to make him understand reason? Will he turn himself in?
It's a long story, Doc. I tracked Zelazny and his men. They were hiding in the sewers. And after talking to him, I decided to let him go.
What? But he is a dangerous man, Mr. Jensen. You should not have done this.
The men Zelazny's after are far more dangerous than he is. His methods are extreme, but I think his cause is justified.
I had not foreseen such a thing. I believe you are wrong, Mr. Jensen. You should have stopped them. Here is a praxis kit. It's all I have. Go away. You don't know what you've done.
You must get that chip back, Mr. Jensen.
I got the chip. The sellers are out cold.
Excellent work. Seems Mr. Darrow was right to trust you. We will send people to take care of the terrorists. Could I see the chip?
How about you tell me what's on it first?
Blackmail, Mr. Jensen? Don't waste your time. I won't tell you anything. Besides, there are stones better left unturned. Might as well just give me the chip and leave it at that.
All right, take it.
Trust me, it's better like this anyway. You've done a great job. I thank you on Mr. Darrow's behalf. Even though this was a favor for Mr. Darrow, he believes you should be duly rewarded. Here is a payment in credits. I'm sure Mr. Darrow will wish to congratulate you himself. Expect to hear from him soon.
It seems David has a flair for choosing his people, Mr. Jensen. You have done me a great service today.
Glad I could help. I just wish I knew what this was all about.
You never know, Mr. Jensen. One day, you just might.